Hello guys, I'm here to do power rankings about the PBA. It's a Pokemon League draft format, and I've been in draft formats myself. I decided to sit this one out, but I decided to try something different. I want to be an analyst for once. Just I like the concept in the GBA, and yeah, so I'm going to be an analyst in this league. And here I am with post-draft power rankings. The draft has been done about 1 week ago, and I analyzed the drafts and I made a power rankings about it. It's totally opinionated, so feel free to discuss in the comment section. It's my opinion, no one else. And yeah, let's just dive in. We've got 12 teams, and I've ranked them from 12 to 1. I start with the 12th one, and I come to the first one. I will try to discuss the pros, the cons of the teams, the types, the type distribution and such. So okay, let's get let's get started with the first one. That's number 12, the Beartix. The Beartix have yeah, a bit of a weird team because first round they drafted Bidoof. It was a fun pick, we know, but just why would you do it? But he decided he would. Then he drafted Heatran and Azumarill. He decided to work on his score, and then all of a sudden, probably because he wanted Megaceptor could pick, he didn't care anymore, and he never showed up for the draft. So his draft was kinda auto drafted. So with the auto draft, this was the team that came up, and it has some advantages, but a lot of disadvantages. That's why I put it at 12th place. You see the logo here. The logo is made by a friend of mine called Eddie. If I can find it, I will link. He has this channel too. I will link it in the. I will link it down in the section because yeah, check him out. He makes some nice Pokemon content. He does some draft league format, and he made some of the logos. Not all of them, but yeah, he made some logos for an other league, and some of the guys from this league are also in the other league. So I could use the. I asked him to try to if I could try the if I could use the logos, and he gave me the logo, so that was nice. Some other teams doesn't have a logo. You will see further on. They just have a picture of the mon that is from that team. The in the name. Okay, enough rambling about just the logo. Let's get in with his draft. You see his draft here, and I start looking at some advantages in his team. I saw he has a good Fire Water Grass core and Dragon Fairy Steel core. Those are like the two main cores most by almost every team has, and they have some good synergy. Also, he has Gothitelle. Gothitelle has Shadow Tag in his league, so it can trap some threats for his team. So that's always nice. He has some good bulk in his team. He has Cresselia, Umbreon, Nasty Core, Regen, Tangrowth, and yeah. So that's nice. And yeah, what else can I say? That's about the course. He also has some good physical attackers like Mega Garchomp. He has a Sock. He has a Azumarill. Azumarill can clean up games. With Belly Drum, it's really scary. Has good priority. He has some stealth rockers in Heatran, Miltank, Mega Garchomp. He has some mons that you could put a choice item on. Always handy to have. Strong wall breakers. Mega Garchomp is a really strong wall breaker. Explode's a really strong wall breaker. But then you think, why? How he has all those good points? Why is he not number 12 now? I will talk about it now. When you look at his team, and it's really important in draft league format to have hazard removal. Stealth rocks can be a pain, spikes, toxic spikes, but he doesn't have hazard removal. That's one of the biggest points of his draft. Also, he has a Bidoof. Bidoof, it's nice. It's a lovely mon, but in draft format you can't really use it. So it's like a wordless tier 5 mon. Also, his EQ resist, his only EQ resist is Cresselia, like the only thing that flies. So EQ spam can be annoying for his team. The only thing to stop Volt Switch is Mega Guard Jump. You can run HP Ice on your electric types. The fastest one is also Mega Guard Jump when it's not Mega Evolved. That's 102 speed. And after Mega Evolved it became 92. And then Miltank is the fastest at 100. But Miltank isn't generally a mon which is speed invested. So he has quite a slow team. Also, he has no spikes or T-spikes access, no spin blocker. He has no step, knockoff, or pursuit. He has some knockoffers, but not the best one. He has no Volton core because he doesn't have an electric type. And then when you look at all the mons together and you look at the type distribution, you see that he has 5 weaknesses to fighting. One of them is Bidoof, so I give him that. And he has Crash, God, and Azu as resists, so that can deal with fighting quite good, but look out for knockoff plus a fighting mon can be scary besides Azu. He also has 3 weaknesses to Fairy, and his only Fairy resist is Heatran. Heatran has a 4 times weakness to ground, so that can easily be exploited. Also, he's a bit weak to Bird Spam, that's flying type. His only resist is also Heatran, two weaknesses to it, only Heatran, so that also can be a bit tricky. That's why he is at number 12. Then let's get further down with number 11. Number 11 is the San Francisco Charizards. I've listed his team here, you can just look at it. I will just talk about the team composition. He has a decent Firewall to Grass Core, he has the Milotic, he has a Torterra, and the Mega Charizard X. So he has the core, but yeah, could be a bit tricky. Also, he has some EQ immunities in Tornadus and Staraptor, always nice because Mega Charizard X doesn't, after Mega Evolve, doesn't love EQs. He has Rapid Spin and Hitmontop, so he has hazard removal. He also has Defog and Staraptor, but Staraptor is more a hard-hitting mon. You don't really want to run Defog on Staraptor, so his only hazard removal is Hitmontop. And that can be exploited by spin blockers, so he has to look out for that. Also, he has a great setup sweeper in Mega Charizard X. With D-Dance, it can easily sweep a team, so it's a really scary mon. Also, he has Speed Boost Sharpedo. Speed Boost Sharpedo in other league did really well. After some speed boosts, it can just clean up games. Also, he has a good mix between physical, special offense. He has the Tornado special, Staraptor physical, Keldeo special, Helios special. Sharpedo can be a bit of both, but more physical. Mega Charizard X physical. He has good speed in Helios, Tornadus, Keldeo, all above the 100 speed. Tornadus is even 121, so it's nice speed. He has priority in Hitmontop. Hitmontop gets a variety of speed priority moves. Also, he has quick attack in Staraptor. He's a good Volturn core with Volt Switch in Helios, U-turn on Tornadus and Staraptor. All nice. Some choice uses. Tornadus can be choice Bandit, hits really hard. Keldeo can be choice Specs, choice Scarf. He has good wall breakers with Staraptor, Mega Charizard X, and such. Then you think that's also really a lot of pros. But what are the cons of this team, the disadvantages? To say now, he has no Fairy or Steel type to complement the Fairy Dragon Steel core. Fairy and Steel are both really great defensive typing. Especially Steel, you almost always have to have a Steel type on your draft. So that can be a bit tricky, and we get late to it later on with the type distribution that it hinders him a lot. Also, his ground types are low tier mons in Golem and Torterra, and that is only Stealth Rock setters. So if he wants to bring Stealth Rocks, and Stealth Rocks are really great in League format, he has to bring Torterra or Golem. So that can also be a bit, and that are also his Volt Switch stoppers. And that can be a bit unfortunate because Torterra has a 4 times weakness to ice, Golem 4 times weakness to water. Those mons generally doesn't take a hit that well. He also has no access in spikes or toxic spikes, and yeah, it's really nice to have hazards on your team. Yeah, what I already told about the Hitmontop, the only hazard removal on his team can be easily exploited. Mega Charizard X doesn't love hazards on the field, especially no rocks. Also, his only really real bulk is in Milotic. Hitmontop also has bulk but doesn't have recovery. So it's mainly Milotic with recovery. He has AV Tornadus that has regen, so I give him that, but doesn't have that much bulk. So he has to really go the offensive route. And I think his team is an offensive team. Also, he has no spin blocker, he has no step, knockoff or pursuit, he has some knockoff users but no step. He has no cleric because I told you about the walls, he doesn't have really walls, so no cleric. He has a lot of dual types, he has like 3 water types, 2 flying types and misses some other types. So when you look at the type distribution of his team, you can see easily some weaknesses. He has 4 weaknesses to fighting, and his only resist to fighting is Tornadus T. Tornadus T is a great mon, but it's only fighting resist, and you can put Stone Edge on your fighting mons or something like it. It can be a bit tricky. He also has 4 weaknesses to rocks, so he's a bit weak to stealth rocks. But he also has 4 resist, but it only has removal, as I said before, Hitmontop. 5 electric weaknesses and 2 immunities in Golem and Terra, which I talked about earlier, can be easily exploited. 2 resist and Heliolisk and Charizard, but those guys don't stop Volt Switch. 4 weakness to Ice and 4 resist, so that's kind of even. Ice is really a good offensive type and most of the teams are a bit Ice weak. And then the main things of his team. Because he has no Fairy or Steel type, he has no Dragon resist. So Dragon type mons really fuck up his draft. Also, he has no Fairy resist because he has no Steel type. He has a Fairy resist. Nah, he doesn't. Mega Charizard, when it hasn't Mega evolved, it resists Fairy, but when it Mega evolves, it doesn't resist Fairy anymore. So he has no Fairy resist and no Dragon resist, and those typings can really fuck his draft over. Then we get to the number 10 of the draft. The number 10 on the draft are the Pittsburgh Pikachus. What you can see when you look at the team is there is really a lot of bulk, and that's almost the only thing there is to his team, bulk. He has a good Fireball, the Grass Core, Amoonguss, Alomomola, and the Rotom H. A nice regen core with Alomomola and Amoonguss. He has good physical special bulk, his team is really bulky. Team is a bit bulky offense, but he has no really hard hitting mons. So he hasn't really got many good wall breakers. Also he has a Cleric in Alomomola and Chansey, Spin Blocker in Goluk and Defogger in Latias, but Latias is like his only hazard removal. So you are forced to always run Defog on Latias every week in, week out. And that's not really what you want. Latios is a good defogger, but you may want to go the offensive route and have no defog. He has really a variety of stealth rock users, Instancy, Mega Aggron, Goluk, Regirock. He doesn't really have a Volt core, only Volt Switch and Rotom H. No Fairy type to complete the Fairy Dragon Steel core. Okay. He has, in my opinion, a bit too much bulk, so he misses out on the offense. His fastest mon is Latios at 110, and that's the only thing above 100, so his team is also quite slow. No step knockoff, no pursuit, no spikes, T-spikes, X's, no real setup sweeper, so no really good way to clean up a game. Not many choice choosers, no real form of priority. And so it's really bulky. Maybe it could work for him, but I think he needs a bit more offense in his team. And when you look at type distribution, he has 4 weaknesses to fighting, he has an immunity in Goluk, so he has got that, and Latias and Amoonguss resisted, so he can handle it. Same with ghost types, 2 weaknesses, 2 immunities in Chansey and Porygon 2, those 2 can quite handle ghost types really good. 4 ice weaknesses, 3 ice resists. As I said, ice is a really good offensive typing. The only dragon resist he have is Mega Aggron. So special dragon types can quite fuck him over. And Mega Aggron doesn't have reliable recovery, so it can be whittled, so he has to look out for that. And also he has no dark resist, and dark step knockoff and just dark in general is a great typing, and really offensive wise it's really good. so he has to look out for dog types. Then over to the next one. At number 9 we have the Pasadena Porrigans. The Pasadena Porrigans, you can see the team here. It's quite a nice team, but he has when you look at his team, he has a lot of dual typings. He has 3 ghosts, 2 dogs, 2 poison, 2 steals, and that's a bit too much. He misses out on some other mons that could hinder him. He has a 5 at the crash score. I give him that. He has Defog in Mega Sizzle and Golbat, so he has his hazard removal. He has no rapid spin, but I think his team can go without. He has Stealth Rocks in Bronzong, T-Tar and Cradley. Diggersby could set up some spikes if he decides to go that route. Spin blockers, he has 3 ghost types, so he has enough spin blockers. He has a good pursuit trapper in Honchkrow and T-Tar, so he can easily get rid of Psychic ghost types. He has a good mix between physical and special attackers. He has Diggersby and Mega Scizor, T-Tar, and then on the special side he has Chandelure, he has Gengar, Rotom Wash to a certain extent, so he has some good mix. He also has some decent bulk, but not lots of his bulky mons doesn't really have reliable recovery. Golbat has, Cradley has, but besides that, the other things can be a bit whittled. Good priority in Mega Scizor with Sword Dance up and Bullet Punch, it's really hard. It can clean up a game easily. Also, one thing to note, and that more teams has it, a bit less speed. Gengar is like his only fast mon above 100 with 110, and after that it gets a bit slower. He has some good choice users in for Choice Scarf, Diggersby or Chandelure, but the real speed isn't really there. He has a good full turn core. He has Mega Scizor, Golbat, Diggersby for U-turn, Rotom Wash for the Volt Switches. He has that. That's nice. And then over to the disadvantages of his team. As I said, a lot of dual types. Misses Dragon and Fairy type. That are both 2 really good typings. Especially Dragon hits really hard, good offensive type. No T-Spikes, you can go without. No Step Knockoff, has some knockoff users, okay. And no Cleric, that can hinder his team, because it can be easily whittled down. And his type distribution, he has 4 weaknesses to Dark and only 2 resists in T-Tar and Honchkrow, so he has to look out for that a bit. He also has 4 Ghost resist, Immunity in Diggersby, and 2 resist in T-Tar and Honchkrow. And T-Tar and Honchkrow can both pursue trap it, so that he has that going for him. And then we go to number 8. I think when you look at all the teams, you see kind of like some big differences, but like number 8 and 9, if you only look at the draft, they are really close to each other, and there are with some other, when we go along the power ranks, you will see some like number 3 and 4 also has really close. So I now put 8 above 9 because the draft is maybe a bit better, but it doesn't really matter that much. Then we get to the Ampharos. The Ampharos, you see his team here. When you look at the team, you see a great Firewater Grass core, great Dragon Fairy Steel cores. He has the Togekiss, he has the Skarmory, the Skarmory and the Dragonite. All resist EQ, all flying. Great core. Also the Firewater Grass core, he has the Arcanine, he has the Feraligatr, he has the Mega Venusaur. Also he has 2 Defogs in Skarmory and Togekiss, so he has his hazard removal. He has a Ditto. Ditto can be really scary. In another league, we even banned it because some guys thought it can be a bit too much. But Ditto has really good advantages. But when you know Ditto's disadvantages, you can kind of take advantage of it. He has good walls with recovery. He has some Intimidate using Arcanine and Crocodile, which are nice to wall more. He has a Cleric and Togekiss. Skarmory has access to spikes and rocks. Crocodile gets rocks. Frogadier could also go T-spikes, so he has his hazard stacking options. He could even try with Primate to block Defog because it has Defiant, so it gets the Defiant boost from Defog, but that can be a bit tricky, I have to say. So because Primate doesn't really like flying types. He also has a team. His team is also generally more physically offense than special offense. His main special offense is Meloetta. If you go offensive for offense, and Venusaur and Togekiss also are special attacks, but they are more bulky than offense. He has Stab, Knockoff, and Pursuit in Crocodile, so Crocodile, really nice mon. Sweepers in Dragonite, Feraligatr, and Dragonite can both set up D-dances easily, clean up a game. He has those both have good priority in E-Speed and Aqua Jet. Has some good choice users. His Scald switch-ins are Togekiss and Venusaur, who both kinda doesn't really appreciate a burn, so he has to look out for it. And then over to some disadvantages. He has no Rapid Spin, and he has no Ghost type to spin block. So he has access to all the hazards, but not really a good way to exploit those. Also, the biggest disadvantage of his draft, because I looked at his draft, I kind of liked it, but the biggest problem is that his fastest mon is Frogadier with 97 speed, so he has nothing above the 100 speed. So he's kind of forced to bring Scarf users week in, week out, and rely on Dragonite and Feraligatr to set up and get some speed. And he could go Meloetta Pirouette form, and that has some nice speed in 129. But yeah, you miss out on the special presence then on your team. So I don't think he would go that route that much. He also has no electric type, and electric type could be really nice for special offense, more speed. So you may look into that. And so he's not really a Volton core. If you look at the type distribution, he's a bit weak to bird spam, as his only check is Skarmory. But Skarmory is a good check to it. He has 4 electric weaknesses, resistances in Venusaur, Immunity, and Crook. So has to look out for the Volt Switch users. And is a bit weak to Ice, but most teams are a bit weak to Ice. Then we are over to number 7, the West Coast Weavers. The West Coast Weavers has a nice team, and his team started out with only special presence, but he got some physical presence along the way. He has good Firewater Grass core, good Fairy Dragon Steel core, he has the Superior, he has the Volcarona, and he has the Slowking, and for the other core he has the Dragalge, he has the Sylveon, and he has the Klefki. So he has the cores. He has a Defogger in Gligar, a Rapid Spinner in Hitmonlee, he got his hazard removal. He has many special attackers, really a lot, and his physical presence in Mega Beedrill, Hitmonlee, and Zangoose, all who can hit really hard. Beedrill also can easily grab some advantage with U-turn, so he has the physical presence. But yeah, if it is enough, we will have to see. He has a Cleric in Sylveon, that's nice. He has good bulk with recovery in the Sylveon, Slowking, and Roserade a bit, Gligar, so he has that. He has access to spikes with Klefki. Klefki can stack up some spikes. Roserade also has access to spikes and T-spikes, and the Gauss also has T-spikes. So he could go the spikes T-spikes route. The only problem is he doesn't really have a Stealth Rocker besides Gligar. So he kind of needs to bring Gligar for Stealth Rocks, but he has some really nice hazard stack options, and Mega Beedrill loves hazard stack, but then his only Stealth Rocker is Gligar, so that's a bit unfortunate. He has some good setup sweeps in Superior and Volcarona, but I think they both do kind of the same thing. Also some good special wall breakers, physical a bit less because he doesn't have that much physical presence. His Volton core, he doesn't really have electric type to complete the Volton core, because Mega Beedrill can U-turn, take easily advantage, and if you have Volt Switch on your team, then the Volton core becomes really scary. And then the disadvantages, a lot of special presence, a lot of dual typings, like Roserade is grass poison, Dragalge also poison, Superior also grass, Beedrill, bug poison, also poison, Volcarona also bug. So he has a lot of dual typings, and What I thought first from his team was that he decided to go Mega Beast Drill, and I get it. It's tier 3. He gets the I think it's tier 3, so he gets the plus 60 points, and that gave him Hitmonlee. But I really thought he would go Mega Absol, and I think Mega Absol would go quite good, greatly fit on his team. And I know you have free agencies, so maybe he goes that route, but I don't think so. But I thought he would at first. So he has no spin blocker, so he can stack up, but he can't really block the spin. That's unfortunate. His only flying type is also Gligar, so that's his only EQ resist, and it has a 4-time weakness to ice. That's also a bit scary. Only stop to Volt Switch is Gligar, also as I said before, 4 times weakness. He has access to Pursuit and Knockoff, but not really a Dark type to use it. And if you look at the type distribution, then he is really weak to flying types. His only resist is a Klefki. His only ghost immunity is Zangoose, but he's not that weak to it, but ghost spam can be a bit annoying. He has 4 weaknesses to fire, but he has Gulch and Slowking who are good resist. 4 weaknesses to Psychic. Resists are Klefki and Slowking. Doesn't do much back, but resists the hits. And 4 weaknesses to ice, but 3 resists in Klefki, Slowking, Volcarona who can take care of it. And then we get to number 6. Number 6 are the blue Bisharps. The blue Bisharps have a really nice, really common core in Landorus, T, and Mega Manectric. It's a nice core, gets Intimidate, has full turn core right off the bat. He has the Manaphy. Manaphy is a great setup sweeper, can easily clean up a game, but then he also has Suicune. And Suicune and Manaphy, do they do the same? Kinda not, but it's a bit weird to see both of them on one team. He has the Firewater Grass core with the Manaphy Suicune, the Sceptile, and the Domaniton. He has a decent Fairy Dragon Steel core. So his Steel type is Bastiodon, that's a bit fortunate to Granbull, and then Dragon type the Noivern, which hits really hard. He has Defog in Mandibus, but that's his only hazard removal. Stealth Rockers in Bastiodon Lando T. That's a bit unfortunate because Bastiodon generally isn't a mon that you bring week in, week out. Lando T is, but to have to you are forced to run Stealth Rocks on Lando T every week isn't that great. He has some spike access and spin blocker in Frostlass, so that's nice. Spikes are really nice for a team with Mega Manectric. Knockoff access in Mandibus and on Lando T. Good Fulton core, which it's all about. And good choice uses. Lando T can be scarfed, Maniton can be scarfed, Bandit hits really hard, Noivern choice specs hits really hard. He has a good mix between the physical and the special offense. He's a bit more special presence, but with Domaniton and Lando T you have your physical presence that you need. Disadvantages then, that's mainly the steel type being Bastiodon. That's a bit unfortunate. He has no rapid spinner, a bit unfortunate. No real form of priority. That can be scary. Could not. We have to see. He has no cleric, so no wish passer. He has heal battle and Granbull, so that's nice. He has no T spikes. Okay, no pursuit trapper. Okay, he isn't that weak to psychic or ghost types. And the only really bulk on his team is the Mandibus, Suicune. They have recovery, so that's nice, but the rest of the team is more really offensive. So it's more like an offensive team with a bit defensive pivots, I think then. And then if you look at the type distributions, you have 4 weaknesses to rocks and only 1 resist in Bastiodon. So you are a bit Stealth Rock weak and a bit Stone Edge, a bit Rock weak. So that can be unfortunate. You have to run Mandibus every week, Defog. 4 weaknesses to ice, but 5 resist, so that's nice. Dragon resist are Bastiodon and Granbull. So if there's a scary dragon type, you kinda have to bring Granbull. If it's a special one, it can be a bit scary. Fairy resist in Domaniton and Bastiodon. As I said, Bastiodon can be taken out quite easily. Isn't really a mon you want to bring every week. Domaniton is more or less, but the Domaniton with Flare Blades, it hits itself for recoil really hard, so it's more of a nuke and not really there to take a hit. So then we go to number 5. Number 5 are the Los Angeles Latios. The Los Angeles Latios have quite a nice team. He has a good Fairy Dragon Steel Core, he has the Clefable, he has the Steelix, and he has a Flygon. He has Conkeldurr. I really love Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr also kind of absorbs statuses for his team, which can be a bit annoying for his team. Like Scald Spam could be annoying for his team. He has the Clefable with Magic Guard, but Conkeldurr gives him good Scald switch in, as if Conkeldurr gets burned, it activates Guts, it hits really hard. He has Cinccino and Greninja for good speed, so he has the speed in his team. He has a good mix between attackers and special attackers. He has a nice cleric in Clefable. He has defensive mon with good recovery. Zapdos has recovery. Shaman he likes to use his defensive pest, has recovery. Clefable has recovery. And Steelix doesn't, but Clefable could Wish Pass into Steelix if need be. He has access to spikes and T-spikes with Greninja. He has a spin blocker in Doublade. He has many mons that could run Stealth Rock, so he can really reliably hazard stack a team. So that's a nice option to have on your team, I think. He has 2 Defogers in Flygon and Zapdos, and 1 Spinner in Armaldo, so he has good hazard control on his team. He has priority in Conkeldurr with Mach Punch and Doublade with Shadow Sneak, so good priority. There's good Volt Core with Ace-Delve Greninja for U-turn, Zapdos for Volt Switch, and he has got his Scald Switch in. His only knockoff switch in is Clefable though, so that can be a bit unfortunate, but Clefable is a good one, nonetheless. He has many ground immunities in Flygon, Ace-Delve, Zapdos. But then, what are the disadvantages of his team? The disadvantage is he misses a Fire type to complete his Fire Water Grass core. So that can be a bit unfortunate, as Fire type is quite a nice type to have. Greninja is his only Water type, and in general you most of the time have a defensive Water type or an offense and a defensive one. So that's a bit unfortunate. He has no Step knockoff and good Pursuit Trapper, but he got access to knockoff users, so that's always nice to have knockoff on your teams. He has not the best wall breakers, and that's like the main point. His team is quite nice, a bit bulky, but not quite hits that hard. Conkeldurr could break walls, but the problem is Conkeldurr, you typically run AV Conkeldurr, and then it takes away from its sheer power. Also Flygon could break walls, but Flygon generally runs Scarf and doesn't hit that much. And Greninja doesn't have protein because then it's too overpowered. And without protein it really lacks power. So the thing to break walls are more or less Swordsman's Doublade and Nasty Plot Azelf. And it can be a bit scary. Yes, because he has no Fire type mainly. He has no real form of Will-O-Wisp user, and Will-O-Wisp to burn your opponent is really nice because it helps the physical attack. And then if you look at the type distribution, he got some nice distribution. His fire resist are Greninja and Flygon, and those aren't the most bulky ones, so he has to look out for really offensive fire types. And he has 3 weaknesses to Fairy, but he has to resist in Doublade and Steelix, but those doesn't have recovery, so he has a bit to look out for that. Then we get to number 4. Number 4 are the South Florida Suicunes. The South Florida Suicunes have quite a nice team with Jirachi, Mew, both who can really go all routes. Defensive, offensive, specials, physical, could go all the way. That's always nice mons to have. He has the Mega Lopunny, really scary Mega, got some good speed, priority, it hits everything neutral. One of the main checks for Mega Lopunny is Cofagrigus, and who has Cofagrigus? He has, so nice. It's a good Dragon Fairy Steel Core in the Jirachi, the Druddigon, and the Togetic, so he has the core. He has Defogers in Togetic, MU, a Spinner in Blastoise, he got his hazard removal. He has many Stealth Rockers in Jirachi, Mamo, Mew, Druddigon, nice. He has T-Spikes in Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus is also a spin blocker, so he has He has some nice has stack options, no spikes though, but stealth hooks and T-spikes can be nice. He has good physical attackers in Mamoswine, Megalopony mainly. He has great diversity with Mew and Jirachi, as I said before. He has great bulk on his team with Kovac, Blastoise. Trudon is more bulky, Lantern is bulky, but those doesn't have really got them recovery. But Togetic has recovery, Mew has recovery. Good Togetic can maybe pass a Wish. He has Heal Bell, access easily. He has Wish, Jirachi also gets Wish, and Jirachi also gets Healing Wish. So if his Megalopony or Memo gets low, Jirachi can Healing Wish it back up. So that's always nice. He has setup with Mew, D-Dance, Crafty can be really scary. And then Memo is a really great one. It really wrecks team. The ice ground coverage is really great. And he has priority with Memo and Lopunny, always nice. Step knockoff, Inscrafty, always nice. Great choice mons, good speed with Mega Lopunny and Jolteon. Volt switch absorbers and Scald switching in Lantern. So it's not nice utility mon for his team. Volton core with Lantern, Jolteon, and then U-turn on Mew and Jirachi. So got a good Volton core. And then what are the disadvantages? He's ranked 4th, so he doesn't have that many disadvantages, but he misses fire and grass types for the fire water grass score. And especially in grass type, you easily overlook grass types because there aren't that many great ones, and it adds to ice weak, and many teams are generally a bit ice weak. And fire can be unfortunate. He has Will-O-Wisp uses nonetheless. Fire hits hard, but he can go without. But he is no real, no good pursuit user. Does it matter a bit? Lopunny likes pursuit users because Lopunny generally doesn't deal that great with bulky psychic types. So with pursuit trap that can be helped, but that's a bit unfortunate. And the main problem with his team, I think, is that the real good special attacker on his team is Jolteon. And that's like the only real strong special presence. So it can be hard to break some walls if that's your only special presence. But Jirachi MU could go special, but with only Jolteon as your other special type, you kind of force Jirachi and Mew to more or less run, more often run the special variants, and that can be a bit unfortunate. Then, if you look at the type distribution, the only fairy resist is Jirachi, so you have to look out for fairies. Fairies can be scary for his team. He has Lopunny, Trudy, and Scrafty, which are weak to it. He has 3 weaknesses to ground, and the only immunity is Togetic. So if the Violet is knocked off, Togetic can be taken out. If Togetic goes down, he becomes really weak to EQ spam. He has the ghost weaknesses in Jirachi, Mew, Kovac, but he has Crafty and Lopunny to deal with them, and those can quite good deal with it. And then we go to number 3. So we are now at the top 3. I think number 3 is the Toronto Tangalas. Toronto Tangalas started off really great with his team. He has his extra Talonflame core, looks really nice. He has Mega Sceptile for good speed. He has Excadrill and Stoutland, so he doesn't have, and he has Hippowdon, so he has the sand options. That gives him speed. That's nice. He has good bulk with Florges, Nucleus. Florges is a cleric. He has immunities to ground and Talonflame and Electros. Electros can really be a variety of things. He has a Fire Water Grass core, has a good Dragon Fairy Steel core on his team if you look. He has 2 reliable spinners in Excadrill and Tentacruel. That's nice to have. He doesn't have Defog, that could bite him. That gives you one big disadvantage. I also was in a league when I didn't have Defog, and there's one thing you can be a bit weak to, but I won't tell it because it gives his opponents too big of an advantage, I think, if I tell it. And then he has Machoke, and Machoke, you can think Machoke, but Machoke has Guts, and Guts means that it's a status absorber. So what does it mean? Only the presence of Machoke scares his opponent from bringing Scald or generally using Scald, bringing T-spikes that those things you won't really see for his team then. That's nice to have. He has the D-Spikes access in Tentacruel. Tentacruel, that's nice to have, besides Stealth Rocks, have some D-Spike access. He has good physical and special attackers, but the main special attacker would be Mega Sceptile. So I think Mega Sceptile is kind of forced to run the special set every week. That isn't that bad, but you kind of know beforehand what the Mega Sceptile will be. He has priority. Now, if you look at his team, you see Talonflame, priority, Brave Bird, easy. He has Sand, and then the Extra Stoutland gives him good speed control. He has fast mons already in Talonflame and Mega Sceptile. There are really a lot of Talonflame sets, and with SD or Bulk Up, can easily set up and clean up a game. That's always nice. He has good walls with recovery. Tentacruel doesn't have recovery, but you could wish pass from Florages to Tentacruel. He has a Volton core with Talonflame and Electros. He has some good wall breakers in Talonflame, Extra Stoutland. He's got a Scald switch in. His only knockoff switch in is Florages. Florages is a reliable one. Then the disadvantages. He has some minor disadvantages. One of them is that his only real Stealth Rocket is Hippowdon. So he probably will bring Hippowdon most of his matches, and he will probably be forced to run Stealth Rocks on Hippowdon every week. Isn't that bad, but some weeks you may want to run some other coverage on Hippowdon. Because Exodale, you can put rocks on Exodale, but Exodale with Rapid Spin and 3 attacks, that's the main route you want to go. Most often you don't want to have rocks on Exodale. Then he doesn't have Spike access, okay. He doesn't have a Ghost type to block Rapid Spin, so he's probably not going to Hazard Stack that much. He has no Dark type, so he's no Stab, Knockoff, or a good Pursuit Trapper. He also has no real knockoff users on his team. That can be a bit unfortunate, because Eviolite walls are a thing, and just knockoff items are nice. He has, I think Electros gets knockoff, so that's one user, but it's generally nice to have some more users. And he has no defog, as I told before, no spin blocker, okay. Yeah, so that's about his team. I think the type distribution, if you look at it, he has 2 ice resist in McMortar and Tentacruel, and those can be whittled, so he has to look out for it. And I don't know if he wants to keep McMortar because he has Talonflame, because if he doesn't, he has to look out for ice types for what he replaces it with. And he also has to really look out for Mamoswine, because Mamoswine kinda fucks up his team then. Also then Mega Sceptile and Hippowdon are only weak to ice, but he has many neutrals and so look out for the ice types. And then he has 4 mons weak to water, and then Tentacruel resisted and Mega Sceptile resisted. But ice coverage can be run easily on water types for the Mega Sceptile. So Mega Sceptile most of the time isn't really the first switch. So the first switch would be Tentacruel. And you have to really look out. Tentacruel is really a key mon in his team, but he has to look out to not get it whittled down that much, because then other types can be really scary for his draft. And then we move over to the top 2. And in top 2, there are 2 teams with. Are there perfect teams? It's not really. Can you say there is a perfect team in a draft league format? I think that's not something you can say that easily, but those 2 drafts really have what all the things a draft needs to have. That's nice. And then on number 2 I have the Dallas Stardews. The Dallas Stardews have a good Firewater Grass core. He has the Starmie, the Ferrothorn, and the Entei. He has a good Dragon Fairy Steel core. He has Salamence, he has Aromatisse, and he has Ferrothorn. And I think maybe the main reason because his team is so good is because the other guy who was first in the league quit, and he got from all the scraps he could pick up his team in one go, so he could really synergize really well. So that's also a reason why I think his team is now so good. He also has a good rapid spinner in Starmie. He has Defog Salamence if he wants to go that route, and he has Mega Sableye, so hazards aren't that much of a problem. Then he has Stealth Rocks in Ferrothorn and Nidoqueen. He has Spikes with Excelcore, Carbodor, and Ferriton could all set up spikes, T-spikes in Nidoqueen and Garbodor. A great spin blocker in Mega Sableye, so he really has the stack options, really great hazard stack options. So I think his team would generally be just hazard stack and then clean up with something like Entei, Weavile. It's really hard. So I think that's a nice way to go. He has good speed in Weavile and Starmie, well over the 100. Weavile even peaks at 123. Step, knockoff, and pursuit with Weavile, always nice. Cleric and Aromatisse to pet. Great, good bulk with recovery. The Salamence, good bulky with recovery. Aromatisse has recovery. Starmie has recovery if he goes more with the bulky Starmie. Sableye has recovery. He could Wish Pass into something like Nidoqueen if he decides to bring it more bulky, or Wish Pass in Ferrothorn. So he has those nice options. It's good physical attackers, good special attackers. The special attackers are a bit less than the physical attackers. I think those are more the bulky ones, like Starmie, Nidoqueen can be specially really great, but that means those won't be run bulky, but more offense. So I think you will more see offensive Nidoqueen, offensive Starmie. Then D-Dance Salamence can easily sweep up games, nice. Yes, Calm Mind Mega Sableye for just could run it. Great priority with E-Speed in Entei and Eyeshot in Weavile. Good choice juices, great wall breakers. A Volturn con with regular Rotom and U-turn Axelgor if he wants to go. Then, so all really nice. Not that much disadvantages. If you look at the type distribution, he has 4 weaknesses to rocks, so he's a bit weak to stealth rocks. Those only resist are Nidoqueen and Ferrothorn. You have to look out. You have Mega Sableye and you have Starmie, so I think you can work around stealth rocks. Only ghost resist is Weavile, who beats them easily because it can pursuit trap, knockoff, but Weavile isn't really a switch in for it, so you have to look out for offensive ghost types a bit. And then we look at the number 1 team. The number 1 team are the Mauval Mightyena. The Mauval Mightenas, also like Staryu, have a really great team, but I think his team is just a bit scarier than the Staryu. If you look at you see right off the bat, you see Victini, you see Hydreigon, you see Mega Altaria. All 3 really great threats. Victini can go either special, physical. Hydreigon more special, but can go both ways. Altaria can go both ways, can even go defensive. But D-Dance Mega Altaria is really scary. So he has a great Dragon Fairy Steel Core with the Hydreigon, the Metagross, and the Mega Altaria. He has a great Scald switching with the Water Absorbing Jellicent. He has Hydreigon Crobat that flies, so no for the EQ spam. Defogger in Crobat, Rapid Spinner in Donphan, so good hazard removal. Many Stealth Rockers in Donphan, Metagross, Omastar. Omastar has access to almost all entry hazards in Spikes, T-Spikes, and Stealth Rocks, so reliable lead option. Also, Ariados could be his lead option with T-Spike access and Sticky Webs, so he has all the entry hazard options, so that's all really nice. And he has then also got a good spin blocker in Jellicent. Jellicent can reliably spin block. So hazard stacking, nice. Then great Volturn core with Raikou, and he is Raikou for Volt Surge, and he has, if you look at his team, he has 4 mons with access to U-turn. So his team can reliably set up hazards and then just Volturn out of there to get some favorable matchup, hit really hard, and his team is really scary. Great setup sweeper with Mega Altaria, as I told. Great mix between the attackers and the special attackers. A good mix of walls with access to recovery. Crobat can go with Wally with recovery. Jellicent has recovery. Hydreigon, if you go defensive route, or Altaria with defensive route, have recovery. He has no real clerics, like the main point, and something like Donphan Metagross could be whittled. But the thing with those two, those hit really hard back. So even if those get whittled, it doesn't matter that much. He also has no stab knockoff or pursuit, but he has good pursuit and knockoff uses. So he kind of makes up for it. He has priority in Fake Out, Ambipom, and Bullet Punch Metagross. He has great speed in Ambipom and Raikou around the 110, and then even Crobat at 130. Great choice users. The only disadvantage are that he has no real clearing, but he has heal bell, he can work around that fact, and he has no grass type. But yeah, your team generally gets a bit ice weak, so I get why he doesn't get grabbed a grass type. Then if you look at the type distributions, he has 4 weaknesses to ground, but he has no resistances, but he has two immunities. He has the Hydreigon and he has the Crobat, so he can work around it. He also has 4 weaknesses to ice, but also 4 resist, so it's kind of evened out. He has 3 dark weaknesses and 2 resistances, but Mega Altaria is a great knockoff switching. Mega Altaria can really work around it, and same for Hydreigon. So especially Altaria deals really great with the dark types. And yeah, that wraps up this power rankings. I hope you all enjoyed this power rankings, and I try to get out one every week as we go along when the matches have been done. So yeah, until next time, guys. Bye.